and some young girl sort of put a message. I'm really sorry, but I ended you in a furnace or something.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Butterfly Effect podcast. I'm your host Liam. I'm here with Jack.
How's it going?
And we have a special guest today. Obviously, we've just played The Devil in Me. Me and Jack have our favorite character, Mr. Charlie Lonnit. And today you're in us for a special treat because we've bagged the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Simon Bond. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome.
Brilliant. I mean, we'll just kick straight off, Simon. Let us know how it came to be. Did you audition? Did Supermassive Games approach you? What happened there? How did it get the ball rolling?
I was kind of asked to do some pictures and stuff, and I wasn't really sure what it was for. I wasn't, because I'd done some computer imaging before. So yeah, I just spent a couple of days doing kind of different pictures and stuff like that, and then I later found out that what it was for, and because I think I was in a few others, where I played different characters and stuff, and then I just got lots of random people contacting me from different parts of the world saying what a wonderful computer sort of character I was. So I think he's quite a good character, as I understand. So that's how it kind of happened. So I have quite kind of an expressional face, so I think it's very good for 3D imaging and things like that, so I hope it seems to work. So
No, I mean, fantastic. I mean, like, how involved do you get with these games? Is it a case of just a photo shoot and then they take your model and just do whatever it is?
Around that time I was doing quite a lot in Serbia for different gaming companies. So basically I would spend days in a computer, like in a pod where they have thousands and thousands of cameras, like taking different imaging from it. And you get to do different sort of expressions and that kind of stuff. So that's how it kind of was for me. And then I did a bit in Serbia, and then I ended up in doing stuff in this country. So and I was in Sheffield doing stuff. So and that's kind of how it was for me. And I would do certain lines and certain phrases and that I know. I mean, my voice isn't used, which I was always a bit kind of disappointed with, really, but I mean, there is a good actor playing the voice. So I mean, I've done other ones as well. I did a few things in Planet of the Apes and things like that. But I mean, I think this is the game where I'm kind of, you can see it's me, as opposed to just different aspects of me, So I think actually Charlie really does look like me. So so it's good. I get some very strange like fan mail and things like that, from very random people, and people from different parts, particularly America, I must say. It was cool. I went in, the only time I went into game, in Ultra Street at Christmas, and there was a guy. I said, "Oh, where's the games?" And he said, "Oh, which game are you after?" And I said, "Dark Pictures." And he said, "Oh," and he kind of had a moment where he was looking at me really weirdly.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then he said, and then he was going, "Yeah, you're the guy, Charlie."
I was going to ask you, actually, do you get recognised at all?
Well, there was that one and a few others, and when I mention it to people I know are gamers, they get quite excited at the fact that I was in that, because I found, I think it's one of the best games, I believe, So and I think the imaging is really, gone on tenfold to the thing. So it's really good computing, I think. So but no, I don't get people, grab me in the street and go, "Charlie."
Of course, yeah.
But maybe I think there's talk of my agents trying to go to America and get the whole Comic-Con thing going, I think. So I think they're going to try and do one of those. So
Oh, fantastic.
Get to meet some people in. I think I can do it here and in America. Maybe I don't know.
Oh,
So yeah, but I'd like to do that, because it'd be nice to chat to people who play the game you're in, So that's cool.
Yeah, of course. Jack, I'll let you take one. I'm hogging the limelight a lot here.
No, that's cool. Yeah, I was going to say, because you said you play all these different characters. Obviously, you played Charlie Lonnit in The Devil in Me. I think you was like a bus driver in Little Hope. You played a judge in Hidden Agenda. Like, there's so many varied roles there. So, with your performance, does it vary much? Do you have like a different approach for when you're pulling certain faces, or would you say it's quite similar throughout?
I kind of does. I think it does vary a little bit, but I guess they have the ability to change. I mean, I can see when I look at it, it's kind of basically the same kind of format I use, but I think once you start aging somebody and everything, they kind of slow down stuff, and and I think that they're very clever with the posture. It makes it look very different. But yeah, I mean, I generally I get right into it, because I whenever I'm kind of acting, I always kind of I just finished a film as an Irish gangster, so I kind of spoke Irish for like 3 months, so. Yeah, I'm walking down the shop, buying a paper or something. So I kind of keep into it. So when I was doing them, I kind of did get into it, and I found it quite. I mean, it's a different way of acting, obviously, because you're not becoming it in front of your eyes. You know what I mean? But it's just very clever imaging. And I think these things will just get better and better. I mean, I've noticed the one where I played the judge. The graphics are amazing, but they're not in the same league as Dark Pictures, I don't think. So it's gone on a lot. Even playing the bus driver, I think you can see how it's leapt forward. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot better, I think. So yeah, but yeah, I guess I do get into it. Yeah, I kind of let loose on it a bit, see what happens.
Of course.
Because I think if you're in it, you're in it kind of thing. You got to go for it. You can't hold back. So,
of course. Because I'm aware you've got children, and it must be interesting for you that if they go to school and they've got to say what their parents do, your kids can probably say, "Oh, my dad's a sergeant. He's a judge. He's a bus driver, and he's a film director." So is it interesting for you to see that you get to play such a variety? You get to see your face on a variety of different roles.
It's fascinating for me because, in mainly films, when I play, I generally get bad people. Like, I'd get the gangster. I've played some horrible people over the years. So I must look quite nasty, but. In this world, it's a lot better, I think, because you can show that the different characters can be. Because I probably wouldn't have got cast, if it was a proper, it's like a real life film. I probably wouldn't have got cast for those roles, because I'm kind of known, as kind of I'm either a London gangster or an Irish gangster, or I'm in a film. Which has been directed by the Rat Man. Have you heard that?
The Rat Man.
Yeah. So that's a film called Supercell, and I'm playing a stepfather to one of the main guys in there. So I'm quite horrible in that. So it kind of leads on. I think the days of me playing a romantic lead are definitely gone. So so I think. So for me to play a judge and things like that, it'd be great. And I hope I get, I hope I get, more stuff from it, because I did speak to, the Massive Games before Christmas, and like I said, I hope they're talking about doing a Comic-Con thing. So
it'd be great, brilliant. Yeah, I'll have to come, because I think I'm going to go to the Cardiff Comic-Con this year. So yeah, no, it'll be really cool just to go to these events and meet you there in person. That would be absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, I'd love to do that. It'd be great fun. Yeah. So
we'll have to keep an eye out for that, mate.
Yeah, no, of course.
Journey down. Yeah,
we'll have to go out for a beer afterwards or something, have a drink or something.
Oh, I'd love that.
Great.
Brilliant. So we mentioned before, obviously, a little bit before we started recording, that you've done a variety of roles, whether it's I looked at, a few of your things. You've done Star Wars, you mentioned Planet of the Apes. I saw there was things about Wonder Woman, and even British shows such as Hobby City and EastEnders I saw. Did you ever think for one day that you would be involved with video games at all?
No, I didn't really. I'll be honest. I was quite surprised, like I said to you guys before we went on air, that I mean, I knew it was a big deal, but I didn't quite know how big a deal it was. So yeah, and like I say, like I was in Star Wars and Wonder Woman and things like that, and and I probably maybe I'm becoming more well known for this stuff, so, which is great. I mean, I don't do it to be, I don't want to be famous, so I'm just very laid back kind of with it all, and so for me it's great to be involved in it, and hopefully I can do more. There's some great actors involved in it, so but I didn't think I would ever be a computer game. And have you both played with Charlie? Have you? Is he one of your favorite characters?
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, I've seen him die a few times as well. Because you can do playthroughs, can't you? But I did keep him alive in my first playthrough, so
I didn't. I apologize, but I accidentally killed you off. I had a torrid time with the devil in me. It's quite a tricky game, and for me, you got hooked to death. It wasn't very pretty. It was quite sad, actually.
Well, I had a funny remark. I don't know if you saw it. I put on my Instagram page. I put up the different characters, and some young girl sort of put a message. I'm really sorry, but I ended you in a furnace or something. I visualize how I'm going to die. It wouldn't be that, but
where else would you get them sort of comments? Like,
I know. And one's like, I really love playing your characters. Like, okay, that's strange. Yeah, but I mean, I'm thrilled that people enjoy it. So I think it's great. So and it's amazing how. I'll give a big shout out to a guy in America called Jordan. He contacts me every week and compliments me a lot, and he's such a nice lad who plays the game, I think, like 10 times a day. It's like,
oh wow.
So he's like, he's I always, if I put up a post, I always tag him in because he's just such a nice fella, and so he always contacts me, and so we always exchange on Instagram. I mean, there are some strange people. I get a lot of strange stuff as well. I get a lot of very strange people. So, but most of them are pretty all right.
Go on. I mean, I have to elaborate there. Can you give us a funny story of a strange story you've got there?
Well, I mean, there's some people who just, I found quite a few times that people like, I try and message back to people, because I think if they've taken the time to message me, I'll message them back. But I think the problem you have there is that they become to think they get, that they know you, and they start asking really personal questions about stuff. And I kind of let it go. I mean, there was somebody the weekend who was kind of asking me some really weird stuff. And so in the end I was like, I'm gonna have to block you, because I'm really not comfortable. One, I don't know much about you, and do you know what I mean? And it started getting quite like personal, and I didn't really reply. And then she was going, and then she said something about, because my surname is Bond, and she's going, I bet your name's not Bond, and and you've no chance of being the new Bond. In fact, she's talking. Oh,
wow.
Yeah. So there's some weird people in the social media area, I guess. So,
no, of course. But you never know. They're looking for a new Bond, aren't they? And to be honest, I'd love to see a Cornish one.
Oh yeah, because you're Cornish, aren't you? Yeah, we're from the same county. Yeah, we're brothers, aren't we? We're Celt brothers.
Yeah.
So I've also got a Cornish flag tattoo. So
Oh yes, good man. I love it.
But yeah, you're from St Agnes, aren't you?
Well, yeah, like kind of more Launceston way, but yeah, I kind of like all around. I grew up near Red Roof.
Yeah, because I went to college at Camborne, Camborne.
Camborne, yeah, oh,
wow. Yeah.
I used to do drumming lessons in Camborne, so yeah.
I did,
yeah.
And I'm originally from Tardreth, Par around there. So we're kindred spirits, right?
Yeah, that's it.
I live in Chiswick, and I have in my garden. I have a massive, great St Piran flag, Cornish flag.
Good. We gotta tell people. You have to tell people. Yeah.
It's like, no, it's a big deal. Well, it's a bit like the Irish, isn't it? You have to be kind of.
You've got to be proud of where you're from. And I'll just go back to we mentioned obviously, yourself in video games and that. I mean, what is your relationship with video games in general? Like, do you play many at all? Even if it's a different genre?
I had like an Xbox, which I played, the FIFA games and stuff like that. And yeah, I loved that. I made an image, I don't know what it's like now, but I made a player in my own image,
Yeah.
and I ended up representing my country and playing for my favorite team, Man United. So, and it was amazing. But and obviously that progressed. But I'm not a big gamer, I have to admit. Having said that, I am getting a new like a PlayStation thing to play the Dark Pictures trilogy and lots of other games. So not just because I'm in it, because I just want to kind of understand what it's like. And I've watched quite a lot of it on YouTube and things like that. The Dark Picture stuff. And I've watched quite a lot of the Judge clips, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But
an agenda.
When he has the bomb or something inside, which is kind of strange. But I mean, I'm gonna invest in one. I'm gonna definitely get into it, because I think it's something I need to do to understand a little bit more about it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Is it interesting, because you said you watched yourself as a judge there with a bomb in the side of you, and obviously these games that we play at core, they are a horror game. Is it interesting for yourself to see the absolute variety of deaths, whether you're burning in a furnace, whether there's a bomb shoved in you, whether you're like being displayed with your chest cut open? I think there's one where you're like a sergeant and you're just basically rotting for years.
Yeah,
to the point you become a skeleton.
Yeah, I thought I just thought it was incredible. I'd never, because I hadn't been a gamer and I'm not a gamer, but I'd never even seen the detail of these things. So I found it fascinating, and that's one of the reasons I'm going to get it. But yeah, I mean, I was kind of like, I think it's something I could get right into. You know what I mean? I think I'd be there, on all the time. So much to my partner's dismissal, she was.
Yeah.
But she doesn't. It's funny, but she doesn't like watching it. She doesn't like watching me, as these characters. She kind of finds it a bit freaky, when you're acting, it's kind of different, really, because there's a lot of other stuff going on. But and you can see, but yeah, I think when you're a computer game, like if you see me now, you can probably pick up some of the characteristics of me, obviously doing it on a gaming, So certain mannerisms and stuff like that, and they definitely. I mean, I've watched quite a few of the different characters. I know there's Jesse Buckley and I mean, they kind of nailed most of it, but I have to say they got it pretty right with me, because it's like really weird for me to watch it, But just the voice is different, That's the only thing, really,
Yeah.
I mean, what's it like? Sort of going from like a movie set to presumably like a studio where you're sort of got like motion capture and you're pulling faces.
Yeah, it's completely different. It's. I mean, movie sets are very. it's a completely different world. To be fair, it's a bit like, if you do film and like film is different to TV is different to theatre. This is another genre to it, and and I don't think all actors transition well to it. You know what I mean? So I think some actors are facially not great, but I've always been able to do that. So I think I was good. That was a good facial kind of model sort of thing. Yeah.
You see that in a lot of the interviews when they're talking to some of the other actors in the game. They will say that it's such a world apart from what they're used to.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, really. Yeah, it's kind of a weird, section to it, I guess. Yeah, but I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I really, it's very clever how they do it. So. Yeah, I mean, I didn't I don't suppose when I was doing, all the pictures and stuff and the different managers, I didn't really kind of get it so much, but now I see how they use it. And I just want to do the voice now because, I want to get that Peter guy out of there.
That's the point. Do you get to talk to any of the other actors? Like, did you get to talk to Kay at all, Charlie Lonnit?
I think no, because I didn't do the voice, So I would love to, have a crack at that, So maybe I think my agent's like knocking on the door a bit.
There is a season 2, so
Yeah, is there? Yeah. Well, hopefully, who knows? I mean, I don't know. It's but I'm the other thing I do quite a lot of accents, so it wouldn't be a problem, I could but obviously I guess there's going to be a different character and a different story and whatever, so we'll see. I would love to do that.
Of course. You mentioned that you would like to do these voices for the characters. Is it quite a surreal experience seeing yourself with an absolutely different voice taking over your body?
Yeah. I don't, I mean, he's a great actor as well. It is kind of weird because you can see bits of him in me as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you watch it, you can see some of his mannerisms and mine, and it kind of works quite well. But I mean, the bus driver in Little Hope, that was kind of weird because that's like really, and I watched quite a few of in the new one where, I'm directing and stuff, and I'm kind of I could do that. Do you know what I mean? So but I mean, he's really good. I mean, they're all good. I mean, they're there for a reason. They get. But I'd love to put some accents in there. We should have an Irish one in there. We should do a Cornish one, actually. We should do a Cornish character.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that. Get something with some pixies in there. Yeah.
There's probably people listening. What's he talking about?
Yeah, don't worry. That's just for us, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.